game that if you haven't heard about it, how haven't you? Um, it was made, well, it wasn't made, it began back in 2009 as a puzzle-esque type game made by a developer team as part of a small little contest, and they put it out on their website just to be a free access game. And the original concept was so bare bones compared to what it is now, but it still attracted a lot of people to the point where they actually started working on the game. So over the years, it developed, and a few years later, the original game came out. It was in the beta. You could buy it in the alpha version. I've got it in the beta version. But it was, again, a lot more simplistic as to what it is now, but it had such a good concept of it, of just pure adventure and pure creation, that it got a huge following over it. At this point in the world, I think they are at least $3 billion made off of the game, with over 10 million people across every nation playing it. And so I decided to do a little YouTube recording for this rather than do it live in class where there could be all sorts of technical issues. And for that, I'm going to be showing you around the game a little bit. I hope this records right. Um, so starting off, this is actually a server that me and a few friends from back home play as. And from down here, you can see there's almost like a little taskbar um, that has a list of all of my inventory items in it. If I press E, which is my hotkey, I go into my inventory, and you can see a small little sprite of my character running around with the fact that I have armor on. And whatever that book is, that's new because they just updated the game literally yesterday. And that's one of the best things about this game. It's always being updated. There's never going to be a point, I think, where the people in charge of the game don't just say, okay, we're done, leave it as it is. Even when the game was purchased by Microsoft back in 2014, Microsoft is still running the same system of we'll do small little technical updates every now and then, or we'll have a big update with a lot of new stuff, like maybe once or twice a year. The price hasn't changed much either, which is one thing that Microsoft has changed. Usually, back when Mojang was under Mojang, the developing team, they originally made the game. Back when they were in charge of it in the early days, they would up the price with every major update because, well, back then it didn't really cost that much. So Minecraft has had this game set at the same price for the last couple of years, and I think they've been able to do that because they've created the Realm server, which this is a Realm server that I'm on. My character is on right now. As you can see, there's NPC animals, there's a farming system that you can go with. Your character has a hunger meter, your character has a health meter, armor meter. You don't need to drink any water, which I feel like that's something they should have in the game, honestly, but that's just me personally. There's lava you can find in the game. You can create stuff from literally anything. Um, and the best part about this game is just the pure creativity in it, I think. I mean, you can literally make anything from nothing. Uh, I don't know if I'll have enough time to make it to the main site, but I'll just keep talking as I go there. So, the original developing team was actually a Swedish developing team. Like I said, they just made it as sort of a entry into a puzzle game competition. I don't know much about the competition, but I know that this was their entry, and I don't think they won, but they still kept the game because they liked how it ran. Ah, it is nighttime, so I am being attacked by enemies. I apologize if it's really loud. For some reason, the game audio is super high up. Anyway, so the original dev team was from a Swedish developing team. That's why they called Mojang, because well, that's the American pronunciation of it. I think it's like Mojang or something like that in Swedish. I can't speak Swedish, so I know I just butchered it. Either way, the game slowly just started creeping up in numbers. I think I got into the game when there was only about 1 million people who have played it. um, and only when there was like 5 or 6 thousand people who'd actually bought the game is when I started playing it, and that was really into the early alpha stages of it. So this is something that has been part of my life for almost a decade at this point. It's getting close to a decade, and it's got such a influence on my generation that I think it just shows how easily technology in modern games and stuff like that can shape the future, and the fact that we have other video games. A game made by the Telltale developing team built 3 entire video games. They're all story-based video games off of the premise of the Minecraft universe. There isn't a story to Minecraft. It's simply you spawn in the world and you build. There's no plot. There's nothing really. You just do what you want in the game. The only thing is that you have to survive. You don't even have to do that if you go into creative mode. You can just fly around and do whatever you want. Literally, it's a sandbox game that most people get bored with a sandbox game, and I don't know, like what? For me, it's usually a week. But for this game, as I said, it's been years, and because of that, I've been able to hone my skills in it a little bit, as to say, and I know quite a lot about it. Um, the reason that the original team sold to Minecraft actually is because the game got so big. Um, Notch, or whatever his Swedish name is that I can't pronounce, was the original head developer and the leader of Mojang. He thought that the game became far too much from what he wanted it to be. He didn't want to have a great world-changing game. He just wanted to have a small game that a lot of people liked, and it became a great world-changing game. To the point where, like I said, there's an entire other series of games made before. There's even a full-length feature film that's being made about Minecraft that's coming out in 2019. It's gotten that big. Um, and so uh, just wanted to show you a little bit of like what you can make in the game before I finish all this stuff. This area is in what me and my friends server call Rome. It looks nothing like the original historic Rome, but this is a little outskirts area. Inside we have an aqueduct and farmlands, a barn, all these buildings. Everything here didn't exist until me and my friends played the game. We have spent so much time on this server building all of this from scratch. You see that small little hill there? This entire area looked like that. That massive wall, I've built that from scratch. Doing stuff like this, being this creative, is all what this game is about. And because of that, it's so popular. And it's not going to not be popular for a long time to come, just because how ingrained it is into just modern society. It's an awesome game. I realize I'm taking a little bit too long of time here. So I'll just leave with the fact that I built that house, which is my house, in less than an hour. That's what this game is about. It's just creativity and having fun with a lot of people. And I mean, it's part of the world now. That's pretty much it.